Our next speakers are Alessandra Bagnato from SoftTeam and Maxime Compastié from Adaptation. Alessandra and Maxime explain how the MELODIC platform supports advanced optimization concepts for distributed computing applications.
Hello, good afternoon. We are here today to present to you the Morphemic project, Advanced Proactive and Polymorphic Cloud Application Adaptation. The presentation will be done by myself, Alessandra Bagnato from SoftTeam, and by Maxime Compastié from Adaptation. The vision of our project is to simplify cloud application modeling and to continuously optimize and morph the deployment model to take advantage of all the beneficial cloud capabilities. To do that, we are building up on two OW2 technologies as core building blocks. One of them is MELODIC. MELODIC is one Horizon 2020 project. Is a research project that started in 2017 and ended in 2019 and is already hosted as OW2 project, and you can find it at HTTPS MELODIC Cloud. It is provider of cloud deployment monitoring and context adaptation capability. The second OW2 technology, that is our building block, is Proactive.
Proactive is a project that has integrated the OW2 community since its early beginning. It is a project that has been carried by Enria Sofia Antipoulis in the Oasis team, and that has been commercialized as part of a spin-off program by Activion. It is actually a distributed scheduler that enable the user to specify their workload as workflow and to put them into execution into distributed environment. In the context of Morphemic, it will provide the runtime scheduling for multi-cloud and edge environment. And you can check further information from our website. Morphemic is built around two core concepts. The first one is the polymorph architecture, whose objective is to maximize the utility of an application by adapting the technical form of its component. And meaning by technical forms, we are considering virtual component as a virtual machine, are encapsulated as container, as serverless components such as function as a service function, and as jobs of big data frameworks. The more tricky notion here is the application utility. This is a notion developed inside Morphemic project to evaluate the usability of an application given a specific technical context. We determine this function based on the requirements that are expressed in the specification in the camel model, and this user utility is continuously evaluated as an operation matrix based on technical form properties all along the application execution. The second core concept is the proactive adaptation. The goal here is to forecast execution context to anticipate the requirement in development. To this end, we predict the execution context based on the prediction of resource needs, so that we can identify which deployment configuration should be put in use. Therefore, we can anticipate the deployment by conducting an effective adaptation of the application to provide a seamless experience to the end user. We want to implement those two core concepts inside the Morphemic deployment platform by providing a complete cross-cloud edge-ready deployment platform with advanced features such as utility-based function, multi-layer, and runtime monitoring feature. To this end, we wanted to exploit the CAML modeling language, CAML, which stands for Cloud Application Modeling and Execution Language, and which has already been used and industrialized inside the MELODIC project. The preliminary architecture of this project is organized as an extension of the MELODIC architecture. We extend this by based on the two core concepts. The proactive adaptation is sustained by the work package 2 by having a continuous monitoring on the construction of an utility prediction that by the content of the work package 2 components, and that are later consolidated inside a predicted model used inside work package 3 component. The work package 3 is responsible for the polymorphic planning adaptation and will provide the adaptation based on this predict model on the code archetype on the polymorphic model that are later used later used as optimized model and put into execution to MELODIC platform. The requirement of the specification is constrained by a modeling that is handled inside the work package 1 work that is in charge of extending the CAML model to reach this objective. To provide a seamless user experience, the work package 5 is responsible in providing a user interface that will manage the deployment of application, the enactment on the data placement, and the management of hardware accelerator. The architecture and the integration are part of the work package 4 task.
Now we are going to see some more detail on the unified user interface. So for Morphemic, we aim to have a unified user interface for application modeling, management, monitoring, and operation. We want to provide a uniform user interface access for Morphemic tools and components. To do that, we start from the design phase with SoftTeam CAML modeling, and we start modeling it in the OML modeling tool Modelio. Modelio is an open source modeling tool that is developed within SoftTeam and is part of the project within the Work Package 5 user interface feature. SoftTeam aims to build the cloud application modeling and execution language, CAML 3.0, that will be the outcome of the project, and we give a visual design tool based on this open source tool Modelio. Right now we have been starting working on the CAML 2.0 version that was developed in MELODIC, and we will go on with this specification, including all the needed change that will be included in CAML 3.0. In this slide, you can see a simple example of how complicated and big is the CAML world. In this, we can see the slide on the deployment diagram. You can see how the application components are modeled, and one-to-one to this is the XMI that is associated with this model. In this second slide, you can see an example always taken from a CAML model of the metric model. So the metric model, you can have in here the measurable attribute utility or the measurable attribute price.
The second building block that will be used for the work package 5 is active and proactive that will be used as a runtime for distributed environment. More specifically, our objective is to conduct the orchestration for Morphemic platform and its application based on this technology. The key challenge to reach this objective is to apply the workflow paradigm that is run by the proactive scheduler to the needs of application orchestration. The second challenge is to identify and to comply with the constraint of heterogeneous deployment by being able to cope with cloud resource, edge resource, hardware accelerator, and big data jobs. To reach and to address those challenges, we have set up a strategy based on two technical approaches. First, the extension of the proactive resource manager so that to be able to cope with the variability of the infrastructure resource required by Morphemic. The second is preparation in the on-the-fly fashion of management workflow to enact the deployment and the management of Morphemic application that will be later put into execution by submission to the proactive scheduler. Therefore, Activion leads the operation environment work package and more specifically the runtime scheduling task. We are glad to be part of OW2 as we consider this community as a strategic enabler for the Morphemic project. First, we have seen that OW2 is an environment for fostering innovation, provided the technical assistance and the tooling and support we have gained from this community for project operation. We are also very thankful for the guidance for research project industrialization and the expertise the community has gained. Last but not least, we would like to thank the community for their support in this approach. We are also happy to have some key members of the consortium that come with key know-how from the OW2 community, such as 7 persons that come as the integration leader of the project, Activion, that is the technology provider to provide the runtime for multi-cloud and edge environment, engineering as a technology provider for application profiling, and the University of Oslo that will contribute as a scientific member on the proactive polymorphic adaptation feature.
We continue with the final slides, and we invite you to join us in the open source community of Morphemic. You can already join us to extend this Morphemic platform, the most advanced multi-cloud proactive project. Of course, we said Morphemic is based on MELODIC, which is accepted as OW2 project. You can already have source code and repository of MELODIC hosted on OW2, and you can also already check the source code and repository for Morphemic on GitLab OW2. So please don't hesitate to contact us and to follow us. You can see in this slide our website, all the social network where we are present, and we invite you to follow us. So we are in Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And of course, if you want to ask any question of the two presenters that you had today here, Maxime and me, you can reach us, contact us on email, Twitter, that you can see in this slide. So thank you so much to the audience and to OW2 to have given us this opportunity to present this wonderful project. And hopefully we will see you next year in the same OW2 to present you the progress that we did. Thank you very much.